my name is Nesha Brown. I am a senior social impact consultant. My zone of genius is backstage operations and process architecture. Today, I'm going to give you a demo of a workflow that was designed using Zapier to ensure that Givecloud and Constant Contact was talking to each other. This is a client currently serving a client whose mission is to combat homelessness across Canada. A real small team, and their primary goal was to create a donor cohort segmentation that will have allowed them to engage them in different languages. Of course, we know that our stakeholders. We communicate with our stakeholders in different ways, and so the whole idea was to segment those audiences where they was going to be taken through an automated welcome series and steward it in different ways just based on their level of giving and just other determining factors as well. And so again, this is a quick demo to really emphasize the importance of leveraging middleware tools such as Zapier to ensure that your tools are communicating and are working with one another and are talking to one another to ensure that operations are efficient, less manual input, and more capacity to do the work that actually matters. And so, if we look at the top of this funnel, we have Givecloud, which acted as the place where you make your donation, more so like a merchant. The transaction is captured. Then you have I'm not Mailchimp, Constant Contact, that is operating as your email marketing platform, sending those communications out as well. And so of course, this was a portion of a project that had a broader scope of work that included data migration from one system to another system, CRM specifically, which was Donor Perfect. But this is, like I said, a portion of a bigger project. But this portion is very important because who don't want to steward their donors well? And just from putting these systems in place, this specific client increased their donor retention by 22%. And so, again, starting at the top of the funnel, this is Givecloud, the donor, where we see that the donor makes the donation. And then once that donation is captured, that information is translated to Constant Contact. And Constant Contact searches and does its thing and update the contact if the contact is already exists within Constant Contact records, or it creates a whole new contact and it tags it and it separates it and it segments it and it does all of the things as we get down into the pathways. And so at that point, once Constant Contact has done this thing and filtered things out in different ways, a path, once we reach the path, the donor is filtered and split into different paths just based on their behavior, just based on the action that they have taken, as well as the path that the client identified as like the most important uh, path within like their donor arena of stakeholders. And so, as you can see, we have different pathways that someone can split into, which in the perfect world, they will receive segmented language to continue to steward them and continue to engage them and so forth. And so, of course, we have the one-time gift donation path. This is if someone makes a one-time gift, they go into this path, receive that specific welcome series that's tailored to them through Constant Contact. As you can see, the steps, each step is very detailed. We've been able to go in and field map, create different field maps, and ensure that we identify those consistencies across systems to ensure that they are communicating with each other effectively. We also have the monthly donation. If someone visits the website, just makes a monthly donation. We also have a tote buyer path. This is basically product purchases. We know that most nonprofits sell products, and so of course this is if someone makes a product directly from their e-commerce store. Of course, they receive their own customized welcome series. Then we have our tote buyers. What I like about the last two paths, it gets very interesting because these are multi transactions in a single transaction. So it's multi steps in a single transaction. And so this is tote purchase to one time gift path is when someone makes a purchase a product, and then at the end of that transaction they are upsold to make a one time gift. So the system literally says, hey, increase your impact by making a one-time gift. And so the system recognizes that as well and split them into their own path. And then we have the one-time gift to monthly. So when someone has intentions to just, hey, I'm gonna go make a one-time gift today, and then at the end, towards the end of that journey or that experience, they are upsold to make a monthly gift. And so that's the idea behind each of the path. Each path has its own set of conditions, of course. And then as we get down into like um, deeper into the path, you would, of course, the path conditions has been field mapped to ensure that Givecloud and Constant Contact align, and communication are in terms, for better word. And so once we get down to like the filters and things like that, another thing that I aim to reduce inside of this workflow is redundancy. And so that's with by creating different filters as well for each path. And this just means that ensuring that donors or stakeholders are not retagged when they enter a path. So let's just say, for example, I am a donor and I give a gift on Monday, and then 2 months later, I give a one time gift on Monday, and then 2 months later, I decide to give a monthly gift. This filter ensures that uh, while I'm still receiving that welcome series that's tied to my one time gift, when I convert into a monthly at a later date, I will no longer receive another series. So I won't be in two series at one time because that'll create redundancy and potential unsubscribes. And so, again, very detailed, very well thought out, very detailed, very well thought out. And so this is basically how it looks to really segment your audience, or I wouldn't say audience for this specific demonstration. This was more so about segmenting donors based on their different transaction types that they can make within the organization or within the checkout experience. And then it can get deeper. We can deepen the logic, of course, but this is just a basic overview of how having a middleware in place can transform already existing or even optimize already existing tools to create better engagement strategies for stakeholders and donors. But of course, this can get deep and the logic can go deeper. Like if someone makes over 500, it can notify someone on the team, the development person specifically, to go ahead and reach out to them and, send them a written note or invite them to lunch or whatever that looks like. And so we haven't transitioned into that phase. But like I said, when we build out workflows, this is a living thing that can constantly be updated, refined, and improved. And I encourage all small teams to prioritize systems and technology because it will literally free up your capacity to focus on the work that matters most. Like I said in the earlier, my zone of genius is backstage operations. This is what I do. I do the hard work so you can focus on the work that matters. And so if you are interested in learning more about how this type of setup can transform your operations and make you more efficient, and make your team more efficient and effective, and the work that you do more efficient and effective, I am open to having a conversation. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.